Today we're going to be talking about rate. Now they said that a rate is used to express how one quantity changes compared to another. All right. So a rate is used to express how one quantity changes compared to another. So common one we use is speed. Speed compares kilometers and hours. Okay. So speed is equal to kilometers. Okay, divided by hours. Now, who can tell me when did we do something in this similar, something like this? When? Where? You see? In straight line graphs. Remember, because we changed what is the gradient of a graph? The gradient is change in y over change in x, right? So remember when we used that real life application graphs, okay? We're changing our distance and we're changing our time. Therefore, the gradient is also the speed. Remember, we talked about that in the straight line graphs chapter. No. Yes, change, the little triangle, change. So specifically change in the distance, okay, divided by the change in time. Okay, that's it over there. So we're comparing the two things to each other. So let's look at the first example here. A 500-gram packet of Aramet, okay, costs 14 Rand 55 cents. A 250-gram refill costs 7 Rand 50. Show how you'd work out which is better to buy in terms of grams per rand. Okay? So when you're saying per rand means what? What does per mean? Means divide. So per rand means divide by rand. Okay. So per rand, this per here means divide. So if we're talking about the other terms, per gram means divide by grams. All right, so let's look at it in this way first. So if we have 500 grams, okay, of Aramet and we're dividing it by rand, so we have divided by 14,55. Okay, so 500 grams divided by 14.55, what's it going to get? 500 divided by 14.55, you're going to get two decimal places of 34.36 grams per rand. Now, grams per rand basically means, okay, for every 1 rand you have, you can buy 34.36 grams of Aramet. Okay, yes. Yes. So it's like when it's in per rand, so it's grams per rand, we take the grams and we divide it by rand. Okay. So this was the first, so this is the packet of Aramet. Now let's look at the refill. Okay. The refill is 250 grams, okay, divided by 7 Rand 50. Okay. So that's going to give us an example. So we're going to say 250 divided by 7.5. And we're going to get 33.33 grams per rand. All right. So having a look at that, what would you expect to buy? Are you going to buy 34 grams? Okay, 34 grams for 1 rand, or would you rather want 33 grams for 1 rand? You want 34 grams for 1 rand. Do you see that? Okay. So which do you think is better? Okay, which one do you think is more bang for your buck? Which one are you going to get more for the less amount of money? The first one, okay. So buying a packet of Aramet, 500-gram packet, it's basically cheaper than buying the 250-gram refill. Okay. So let's look at the ratio again, but now in a different way. So we're going to say in terms of rands per gram. So now we are looking at how much 1 gram costs. Okay, so the first thing we looked at, how much grams you can get for 1 rand over here. Okay, how many grams for 1 rand? Basically, that's what they said there. It's per. Okay, in terms here, we're going to say it's like how much it costs. Okay, so how much in rands for 1 gram. That's basically what they're asking us the other way. So if we have a look at this, when we say now, so in terms of rand, we're going to have 14.55 divided by 500. Okay, we're going to have a final amount. So 14.55 divided by 500, and it's going to be 0.0291, which is equal to 2 decimal places, 3 grams per rand. Oh, no. Rand per gram. Okay. So, how much does 1 gram of Aramet cost? 0.3 rand. So, what was 0.03 rand? How much is that? Okay. It costs 3 cents, exactly. 3 cents for 1 gram of Aramet. Because money is in 2 decimal places. So 0.03 rand is how much? It's 3 cents. Okay, because there's 100 cents in 1 rand. Right, you get that. You see it? Okay. So now let's look at the other way now. So 7 rand 50, so 7.5 divided by 250. Okay. 7.50 divided by 250. Oh. We're going to have equals here of exactly 0.03. So we have exactly 0.03 rand per gram. Okay. So have a look at this. We've compared it in grams per rand, and then we turn it around and we said rands per gram. Okay. So which do you think is a better way to show the data? If you're going to go present this to your mom, okay, which do you think you're going to use? Are you going to use grams per rand, or you want to use rands per gram? Rands per gram. Why would you say that? You're getting the same value. Okay, but you're trying to compare two different things. So if you're getting the same value, who buys it's like Aramet by gram. Okay, maybe if you go to the spice shop, you can go to the nice Aramet or spices there for so many, you put it on there and they weigh it and they give you a price. But look, you've got to round it off 3 cents per gram for the full thing, or 3 cents per gram for the refill. That's not much of a comparison. It's basically the same thing. But if you look at the other one, for 1 rand, okay, if you have 1 rand, you can get 34.36 grams of the main packet, or for 1 rand, you can get 33.33 grams. Where's that come from? Where's that rand come from? There we go. 33.33 grams of 1 rand for the refill. Yeah, promise. All right. So let's look at the next one. Okay. Mr. Picardo visits J Bay for an outdoor concert. His trip of 96 kilometers was completed in 1 hour. Okay. And 30 minutes. Mr. Mitchell visits Durban for water polo. His trip of 1,100 kilometers was completed in 11 hours. Work out the speed of each teacher in kilometers per hour and determine which teacher drove faster. Okay. So the first thing there, all we were doing is comparing. We're saying one thing divided by another thing. That's all we were doing. We were finding ratios. Okay. So if you had a look, have a look here. Okay. We have for 500 grams, we get 14 Rand 55. Okay. It's the same. A ratio is basically talking about things of something compared to another something. Okay. So if you're talking about in terms of a fraction, if we have 2 blue marbles, okay, 2 blue marbles, and we have 5 marbles altogether, how can you say how many blue marbles are in the bag? There's going to be 2 out of 5 marbles are going to be blue. Okay. So all we're doing is taking two things and we're comparing them into a ratio, comparing them into a fraction of each other. Okay. So let's have a look at this. Let's look for Mr. Picardo first. So the speed, okay, is equal to, speed is measured as, they wanted kilometers per hour. That's what speed is. So it's going to be kilometers per hour. All right. So Mr. Picardo, what's his travel distance? 96. Okay. And how many hours did he travel for? 1 hour and 30 minutes. So how many hours is that? 1.5 hours. Okay. Because it's 1 hour and 30 minutes. 30 minutes is how much of an hour? 30. So let's have a look at it like this. We can look at it even like this. Okay. So there's 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay. So 1 and 3 over 30 over 60 is just 1 over 2, which is a half, which is 0.5. Okay. So we're going to say this. So we're going to say 96 divided by 1.5. We're going to have a speed there of 64 kilometers per hour. Okay. So this is Mr. B. Okay. Now let's look at compared to the other one now. Okay. We're going to have 1,100 kilometers divided by how many hours? Just 11. Okay. Hours. Okay. So if we have to compare that to another, so what's his speed going to be? It's going to be 100 kilometers per hour. So, Mr. Mitchell, okay, 100 kilometers per hour. So, work out the speed. So, determine which teacher drove the fastest. The second one. So, Mr. M drove faster. Because, yeah, Mr. M. Okay, because Mr. M, okay, drove 100 kilometers per hour and Mr. B drove 64 kilometers per hour. Which one's more? 100. Okay, so Mr. M drove faster. Okay, so now let's look at another example. Let me look at this. Okay, who of you eat meat? Okay, meat. Okay, so how many of you like chicken? Okay, chicken. Who prefers beef? Okay, who prefers beef and who prefers chicken? Chicken versus beef. Which one? Chicken? Okay, and beef? Okay, there's a little bit more beef. Okay, so your parents go to the shop and buy meat. Okay, you're going to go to the Checkers. Okay, so there's you. Okay, with your little bag there, and you have to go buy some meat. Okay, at the Spar. Where do you want to go? The Checkers. I want to go to Checkers. ShopRite Checkers. Okay. Pardon? Okay. So you're going to the Checkers. Okay. And you go to the butchery there. and they have a whole bunch of different things. Now your mom says, okay, your mom says to you, you want 750 grams of stew meat, okay? And then she tells you she wants 1.3 kilograms of mincemeat. Okay. Now, we're going to work out some things here. Now, stewing meat costs, okay? For stewing meat, it costs, let's say, 42 Rand and 49 cents for stewing meat, okay? And mincemeat is a lot more. Mincemeat's a lot more. They say, okay, how much does mincemeat cost? 100. You're shopping at a expensive place there. I'm going to say 79.80, okay, for mincemeat, okay? Pardon? So stew meat's cheaper. Yeah, it's mostly just bone anyways. So when we have to work this out, so your mom's given you, okay, 100 Rand. Okay, and we have to work out if we can afford it or not, if we have to go back home and we have to see. Okay, so we're trying to work out the cost. Now they've said, okay, for the stew meat, it is 42 Rand and 49, okay, cents for 1 kg, so per kg. And they said for stewing mince, 79 and 80 cents for 1 kg of stewing mince. Okay, so we have 750 grams of stewing meat. What do we have to do first to work with calculations? It needs to be the same what? It is the same unit. Okay, so we have grams and kilograms. What do we have to do? We have to change it to another. So let's take grams to kilograms. Okay, so how many kilograms is going to be 750 grams? 7.75 kilograms. Okay, so we want 0.75 kilograms, okay, and we're going to multiply it because now have a look. A ratio, okay, is one thing compared to another, which means they're the same in that little ratio. Okay, they're comparatively the same. So if the things are the same and we're dividing, what are we essentially doing? We are multiplying by 1. Okay, because something divided by the same something is 1. And if we said 42 Rand and 49 cents is the same as 1 kg, we are just saying 1 divided by 1, which is 1. And anything multiplied by 1, have we changed it? No. Okay. So we're going to multiply here. 42 Rand and 49 cents per 1 kilogram. Okay. So we're going to plug that in our calculator. We're going to do 0.75 multiplied by 42.49. And we're going to get 31.87, okay, Rand. Now then look at the mince. So it's going to do the same thing. So 1.3 kilogram multiplied by, it is 79 Rand and 80 cents. And we're going to divide that by 1 kilogram because we said it's a 1-to-1. No? So what's that there? So 1.3 multiplied by 79.80. It's like 103 Rand and 74 cents. So how much? So now a nice question would be asked is how much are you short? So how much do you need to buy the two things? We've got 103 Rand 74 cents plus the 31.87, okay, is 135. So this altogether, it's going to cost you 135 and 61 cents. Now, if you only have 100, okay, how much are you short? So 35 Rand and 61 cents. Okay, so do you see how ratios can be used in real life applications? Okay, so when we're looking at things, we're comparing them to one another. We're comparing, in the first example here, we compared the 500 grams of Aramat to how much it costs. We then compared the 250 grams for how much it costs, and we were able to find the comparative. We try and find the ratio of each other. Okay, then in our example here, we said speed is kilometers per hour. So we determined how many kilometers. Okay, Ms. Bocado, 96. And 1 hour, 30 minutes is 1.5 hours. Okay, that's where that comes from. And he traveled at 64 kilometers per hour. Mr. Mitchell, he drove 1,100 kilometers and took him a total of 11 hours. So then on average, he traveled 100 kilometers per hour. Okay, in our little example here, we had the ratios. Okay, we're given the ratios. Yeah, here's the ratios we're given. We're given the ratios over here. Okay, and then we had to determine the cost because we wanted 750 grams of stewing meat and 1.3 kgs of mince. So my total cost is going to be that amount there. All right. Any questions about that? No. Okay. Okay, here's a nice example, revision exercise. Okay. So determine which loaf of bread is the better to buy. So we want to compare two things together, so we need to find ratio. In your mind, you must say, oh, okay, ratio then. We want to compare things. Okay. So loaf crust costs 9 Rand 75 for 700 grams. Loaf rolls, okay, costs 10 Rand 80 for 800 grams. And buns cost 11.90 for 900 grams. Okay, so which one is better to buy? We want to know, okay, when we're buying bread, we want to basically want to take the bigger thing divided by the smaller thing. So are we going to say how much it costs for 1 gram of bread? Or are we going to say how many grams can I get for 1 Rand? Grams for 1 Rand. Because we're comparing large amounts. We're comparing basically like the sugars in the shop. One's a 2.5 kg and one's just a 2 kg, but they're different prices. So you have to determine how much you get for 1 Rand, so then that's equal. Okay, it's on equal footing, and then you can compare each other. So have a look here. So let's look. So loaf crust cost that. So for this one, so the loaf crust, okay, 700 grams divided by 9 Rand 65. Which is going to be what? So you say 700 divided by 9.65, and we get 72.54 grams per Rand. Right. For loaf rolls, we have here, okay, what's it going to be? It's going to be 800 grams. It would be at the end of the chapter. What page is it? Okay, page 42. You can skip ahead there. Okay, so we got for the loaf rolls, it's going to be 800 grams divided by 10 Rand 80. So we put that in the calculator. 800 divided by 10 Rand 80 cents. It's going to be 74.07 grams per Rand. And then for the loaf buns, okay, it's going to be 900 divided by 11 Rand 90. So 900 divided by 11.90. And it's going to be 75.63 grams per rand. So if you only had a set amount of money, what do you want to buy? Do you want to buy the loaf crust, the loaf rolls, or the loaf bread, the loaf buns? Which one is more? The loaf buns, because the loaf buns is more. You get more grams of buns for 1 rand. What we've done here, we've taken everything and we've divided it. That, look, it's divided, so it's 72.54 grams for 1 rand per 1 rand per 1 rand. So we've taken everything and put it into proportions of just 1 to 1 to 1, so we can see and compare the different things. Okay. Any questions about that one there? Okay.